Millions of years of evolution have left the most complex structure in the known universe with a massive, hardwired glitch. Your brain actively prefers a familiar lie over a complex truth. Think about the last time you saw a headline that made your blood boil. Did you double-check the source? Or did a part of you instantly accept it because it just felt right? Today, we are dissecting the hidden cognitive shortcuts that force us to embrace comfortable falsehoods just to keep our worldviews intact. We'll explore how repetition literally rewires your neural pathways and why your tribal identity has become a physical filter that blocks out reality. But this isn't just a critique of modern media. It's an autopsy of human psychology. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how your brain is being hacked, and more importantly, how to build cognitive resilience to fight back. To understand why we fall for fake news in 2026, we have to look back a few 100,000 years. Your brain did not evolve to find objective, scientific truth. It evolved to do one thing: keep you alive long enough to pass on your genes. Because of this, the human brain functions fundamentally as a prediction machine. Imagine your ancestors walking through tall grass. They hear a rustle. If they stop to analyze the wind speed, the weight of the grass, and calculate the probability of a predator, they're dead. Instead, the brain takes a cognitive shortcut. It assumes it's a tiger, fires off cortisol, and commands the body to run. In nature, prioritizing speed over accuracy is a brilliant survival strategy. False positives, assuming a stick is a snake, are harmless. False negatives, assuming a snake is a stick, are fatal. But drop that same prediction machine into a high-speed digital world, flooded with millions of data points per second, and that survival mechanism backfires spectacularly. This brings us to a concept psychologists call cognitive ease. Your brain is an absolute energy hog. It accounts for only about 2% of your body weight, but consumes roughly 20% of its metabolic energy. Because it's constantly trying to save a buck on its energy budget, it avoids heavy lifting whenever possible. When information is simple, familiar, and easy to read, it glides through your neural pathways with zero friction. Your brain experiences this lack of friction as a positive sensation. And here is the glitch. Your brain routinely mistakes the feeling of low effort for the presence of truth. This is where things get dangerous. Because of cognitive ease, we fall victim to the illusion of truth effect. When you hear a lie for the first time, your logical filters flag it. That sounds ridiculous, you think. But when you see that same lie repeated on your feed by a second person, then a third, and then a fourth, something sinister happens inside your head. The repetition creates a neural shortcut. The next time you encounter the claim, your brain recognizes it. It processes it faster. And because it processed it with cognitive ease, it assigns a badge of credibility to it. Dictators, marketing executives, and social media algorithms have known this intuitively for generations. If you repeat a lie frequently enough, it stops sounding like a claim and starts feeling like a fact. The brain literally bypasses logical skepticism because familiarity mimics reality. But the brain's preference for lies goes deeper than just laziness or speed. It's deeply emotional, rooted in our desperate need to belong. For 99% of human history, being cast out of your tribe meant literal death. You couldn't hunt alone. You couldn't defend yourself alone. Conforming to the group's shared beliefs wasn't just a social preference, it was a biological imperative. In the modern world, our tribes have gone digital. They are our political parties, our ideological echo chambers, our subreddits. And when objective, verifiable truth threatens the narrative of our digital tribe, our brain views that truth not as a piece of data, but as an existential threat to our survival. When you present someone with hard evidence that contradicts their worldview, you'd think they would change their mind, right? Wrong. Neuroscience shows us the exact opposite happens. When scientists place people in fMRI machines and show them political evidence that contradicts their deeply held beliefs, the logical parts of their brain don't light up. Instead, the amygdala fires up. That is the exact same part of the brain that activates when a dog barks at you or when you're in a car crash. Your brain processes a contradictory fact the exact same way it processes a physical attack. To protect you from this pain, the brain deploys a defense mechanism known as motivated reasoning. It actively scouts for flaws in the uncomfortable truth while giving a free pass to any comforting lie that supports the status quo. In fact, there is a phenomenon called the backfire effect, where showing someone correcting data can actually cause them to double down and believe their original falsehood even more intensely. Their identity is so intertwined with the lie that rejecting the lie feels like destroying a piece of themselves. Tribal identity consistently, ruthlessly outweighs objective truth. So, are we doomed? Is our species destined to spin out into a post-truth dystopia driven by prehistoric programming? Not necessarily. Recognizing the bug in our operating system is the first step toward patch fixing it. We need to move away from the passive consumption of information and actively rewire our habit of certainty. The first tool at your disposal is analytical mindfulness. Most misinformation relies on an emotional trigger: outrage, fear, or smug validation. Analytical mindfulness is the practice of treating your own emotions as a warning track. The next time you read something online that makes you want to instantly share it or furiously comment, stop. That intense emotional spike is the telltale sign that an algorithm or a bad actor has successfully bypassed your logical filters to exploit your cognitive ease. Pause for literally 10 seconds. Ask yourself, am I reacting to the truth of this statement, or am I reacting to how good it feels to believe it? The second tool is much harder to practice because it requires killing your ego. It's called intellectual humility. In our current fragmented information era, we are conditioned to chase the temporary neurological high of being right. We treat changing our minds as a sign of weakness or defeat. But in reality, changing your mind in the face of new, valid evidence is the ultimate cognitive superpower. It means your prefrontal cortex has successfully overpowered your primitive amygdala. Begin actively seeking out perspectives that challenge yours, not to argue with them, but to genuinely understand how a rational human being could arrive at that conclusion. Make it a habit to say the words, "I don't know enough about this to have an opinion," or "I used to think X, but I was wrong." The fight against misinformation isn't about winning debates on the internet. It's an internal war against our own biology. Your brain is always going to secretly crave the easy lie, the comforting narrative, and the safety of the tribe. But we don't live on the savannah anymore. The stakes are wildly different now. Believing what is comfortable over what is true is a luxury our society can no longer afford. The next time you're presented with a fact that hurts your pride or challenges your group, embrace that discomfort. That pain is the feeling of your brain actually waking up, overriding its evolutionary glitches and choosing reality over illusion. If this breakdown helped you look at your own thinking a little differently, hit the like button and subscribe. Let me know in the comments, what is one belief you've completely changed your mind on in the last few years? Stay skeptical, stay curious, and I'll see you in the next video.